guided by the fighter mentor. Silence. Now listen. This is not about heroic effort. It is about subtle choices repeated until they turn to steel, until the ordinary becomes unshakable. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is language, a language that speaks to the future. When you speak that language, the future answers. It answers in quiet opportunities, in doors that open without noise, in paths that once seemed closed. Every repeated act is a sentence built with intention. Every consistent day is a solid paragraph in the story you decide to write. If this is helping you right now, leave a like, turn on the bell, and subscribe to the channel. Focus is a candle that cuts through the fog. Consistency is the hand that keeps it lit. Without the candle, the path disappears. Without the hand, the flame dies. Some people confuse intensity with results. They make noise, they look busy, but the product is dust. What lasts is quiet. What transforms is a gesture made without witnesses. Now listen to two stories. No grand promises, just truths that cut through the silence. Story 1, the top floor window. There was someone who lived in a tall building. Every morning, before the city woke up, they opened a window on the top floor. Standing there, holding a cold mug, they wrote one line on a wrinkled piece of paper. Today I do X. Nothing theatrical, just one line. Week after week, those lines added clarity. Decisions became smaller. Fear lost its volume. 2 months later, an unexpected offer came from a place they barely knew. Not luck, because the line was a direction. The discipline there was not heroism. It was ritual, and the ritual dismantled indecision, because what repeats stops being doubt and becomes direction. A simple act, done every day, removed the weight of dramatic choices and replaced anxiety with clarity. What once felt like inner conflict became simply a time kept. No applause, no spectacle, just silent consistency shaping confidence. Story 2, the clock no one heard. In a city of shifts, someone adjusted an old wall clock before leaving, not by profession, by affinity. 1 minute less here, 1 minute more there. Small adjustments. Over time, the team began noticing something else. Small problems stopped exploding. The rhythm changed. People started arriving minutes earlier. There was no order. There was a silent effect. The clock did not shout. It aligned footsteps. These stories do not sell formulas. They reveal a pattern. Small action, repeated, creates climate, and climate creates possibility. If this is helping you right now, leave a like, turn on the bell, and subscribe to the C. Hannah, morning is a ritual, not a checklist. Light, breath, one short intention. No more, no less. Before the world demands answers, you establish direction. Before the noise enters, you create inner silence. It is not rush, it is presence, not quantity, clarity. A simple beginning, repeated with awareness, has enough power to reorganize the rest of the day and support stronger decisions when press you. Re-arrive. Deep focus does not appear by decree. It is born when you refuse distraction one more time. Today, tomorrow, always. It is a silent construction made of small refusals that protect what matters. Each time you choose to stay, even when it would be easier to drift, you strengthen an invisible layer of discipline, not momentary intensity, deliberate permanence. And that permanence, accumulated over days, turns concentration into identity. Consistency does not need to be big to be ruthlessly effective. A minimal gesture, done every day, eventually transforms a map of your tomorrow. At first, it attracts no attention, no applause, but it works in silence, accumulating strength where almost no one notices. What begins small becomes a solid foundation. And that foundation supports stronger decisions, clearer choices, and steadier movement. Tomorrow changes because today was respected, repeated without drama, without pause, without excuse. Mental health is not a luxury, it is infrastructure. Without it, focus becomes fatigue, and fatigue does not produce. Protect your sleep, eat with intention, move your body. These are the walls of the structure you are building. The channel's aesthetic is heavy sound and short sentences. When you speak, speak like someone striking a hammer. Every word must carry weight. No excess, no decoration. Impact comes from precision, not volume. One well-placed sentence is worth more than minutes of empty explanation. Steady rhythm, calculated silences. The message must land before doubt appears. Here, the voice does not beg for attention. It commands presence. Now imagine something. Yourself 6 months from now. Not a magical leap. Just 180 small decisions. And one line on paper proving you showed up. Time itself will record whether you truly wanted it or only wish for it. I promise clarity. I promise that if you speak little and act every day, something will eventually yield in your favor, because the world responds to those who remain, not at the speed of urgency, but at the rhythm of consistency. Every repeated action sends a signal to the future that you are ready. And when opportunity appears, because you will not be starting from zero. You will already be prepared to occupy the space. The T once seemed distant. Before leaving, one more story, short but hard. Story 3, the D. Olar without a latch. There was a place where no one locked the door. Some thought it was dangerous. Others thought it was freedom. One person decided to use the door as a signal. If it was closed, it was time for work. If it was open, it was time for life. No one needed to knock. The door spoke for itself. Discipline, there was architecture. A clear signal, minimal consequence, mutual respect. People began honoring the space. And the RK, when needed, became deep. Listen, discipline is aesthetic. Create signals that do not depend on willpower. Signals the world respects. Narrative is your silent weapon. Turn your days into scenes. Protagonist. Stakel. Small victory. Repeat. If you return, return. Not as someone searching for a formula. Return as someone training presence. Because those who return transform. Discipline is not punishment. It is how you choose to speak to your future. Speak with clarity. Speak with action. Speak every day. While others wait for motivation, you build destiny.